Hello everybody, I love you. Welcome to this video. This is day 7, I think, of Birthing into the Light Body 15-day taster course. And I'm actually, this is a really beautiful place to be in today, talking about the navel center, the belly. And in a way I've been looking forward to this more than any of the other areas, because in this area of the belly, I actually you can't see because I'm not showing you my belly, but from here, this soft, beautiful belly area is where we store the memories of being in the womb and where we store the memories of our childhood. It's the water, it's the subconscious. So yesterday I was talking about the solar plexus, and the solar plexus being here, and being like the sun, the divine will and the personal will, dropping down slightly into to meet the gut level, to meet the water level. And I was talking about how the solar plexus is like the sun. It's the divine light of God in us, of spirit in us, then moving into action, moving into being, moving into power, to power you, like your own personal solar-powered, God-powered, spirit-powered battery inside of you. And so when the sun is in the sky, it's all very well and good, and we feel light, we feel conscious, and we have a sense of clarity. When the sun sets and it meets the horizon and it seems like it's sinking into the water, it's sinking into the ocean, so many people get scared of that area. It feels like, oh, I lose consciousness, I lose my way, I don't have clarity. And there's a fear of that consciousness going into the subconscious, bringing consciousness into the subconscious, like bringing the sun into the ocean. Now, as you know, when you're in the ocean, the sunlight only penetrates the first little part, and then it becomes dark. And so another light has to be switched on to see. We have to use a different kind of awareness. Or maybe it's even the same awareness, but I'm not going to go into that one actually. We'll cover that another time. But basically it means bringing your own light into the darkness, into the waters of you. Now, if you try and remember how it was for you when you're in the womb, I'm sure you won't remember. Very few people remember any kind of womb memories. And yet it is written in us. And yet it is still stored. All those memories are still stored, written in our waters, written and coded in our very matter, because this is the body that grew in those waters of our mother. And we were encoded, we were informed, we gestated, we became in those waters. So we're actually the living embodiment of all of that knowledge, except if we don't bring our awareness to it and read ourselves and have inner sense in towards our own selves, we're going to miss that vital and important and amazing information. Now, we're still talking about, I'm still on the part of the masculine, the divine masculine, the spirit moving into form. So I'm still going to focus on that masculine element of spirit, and how spirit, the infinite eternal you, then meets the womb of your mother, meets the world. And on the masculine side, it's not the world as in nature world, it's the world of human beings, it's the man-made world, it's the world that men have created. So for you on this side, on this aspect, moving into the womb of the world, moving into how your mother feels about the world, about herself in the world, how supported and cared for and held and protected and nurtured she feels from the masculine, from the father, from the male in her life, your dad, and how safe and protected she felt. How safe and protected your soul feels about moving into this world, moving into form, moving into the waters, and taking on that watery form, that emotional body. For a spirit, for an eternal living essence, to densify to that level of a water molecule, of emotional layer of your being, is intense. It can be like the sun is sinking into the ocean and it's going to put the light out and the whole world's going to be dark forever. If you can imagine, it brings up that kind of fear, that kind of consciousness. And yet that's really not what's true. There is light in the water. There is light inside of you. There is consciousness in the subconscious. Just because it's below your normal consciousness level, it's still subconscious, it's still conscious, it's still available to you to be conscious. And so what am I on about now? So really, and I put myself in this cozy little dark space to share this video with you today, because it's like, going back to that safe place, and for you to feel safe enough to go into your womb, to go into your waters, to go into your emotions, you need to have this safe, protective feeling. You need to feel like it's okay, so that you can be really, almost like dare to breathe in the waters again. If you remember when you were a baby in the womb, you breathed in the water. You were sustained, you were fed oxygen, but actually you were in the water and you were still breathing. And that's still your first nature, is to come into the emotional body, come into this soft, beautiful belly area of you, that innocence area of your inner child, your inner baby, and breathe. And be breathed, rather than you doing breathing like feeling really, just completely let go, like a baby. And be breathed. And bring breath into the waters, because you'll feel safer. Find out what it needs, what your spirit needs, what the soul of you needs, in order to move into your emotional body, to feel safe, to feel held and contained. That spirit is still there, that God is still there, like the sun. It's not abandoned you. You're still one with God. See how you feel about your relationship with your Father, whether you feel that your Father provided a safe, protective environment for you to grow. Because if He didn't, or you didn't feel that, then chances are you're going to find it very difficult being in this world the way that man has made it. You're going to feel like an alien. You're not going to feel like it relates to you. You're not going to understand it unless your Father was the kind of man that really, gave you that guidance, put those steps in place, held your hand, protected you, sheltered you, made you feel safe until your spirit was comfortable being in the world. And that's the same being true for being in the womb. How well He protected and looked after your mother so that she felt completely safe, so completely happy. And again, if that didn't happen, your time in gestation, your spirit wouldn't have been very much with your body. As your body was growing, your spirit would have stayed quite detached and hesitant. Even though your spirit obviously chose this body for a reason and you're here, still there would be that, whoa, actually it's not very safe to be a human being. I think I'm just going to stay up here and out here somewhere and kind of wait until everything looks a bit safer and a bit more settled and sturdy. And trust me, most people live like this now, even as adults. They're still living with their body somewhere here, mostly ignored and unrecognized, and their spirit up here on a shelf, on a plateau, on a platform, on a cloud nine, on a castles in the air, somewhere up here, away from them, having built their own security structures, having put the scaffolding up themselves in order to feel safe and protected. And I tell you what, guys, that's just so not sustainable. Sooner or later, that has to come down. And we have to come back to this place. We have to come back to this place of the child, to really find our true foundations, to really find what's really here, even if it didn't seem like much was there for you from God or your dad when you were growing. Something actually was there. That's why you're still existing. And it's really good. These things are necessary. The scaffolding must come down. The castles in the air must come down. and for you to come back to a place of authentic feeling so that you can feel. Because if you notice, water without oxygen goes very stale and stagnant and slimy and starts to die, and all kinds of horrible creatures move in and take over. And your emotions are just exactly like that. If you don't feel authentic and be living in the present moment, breathing fresh air, oxygen, opening the windows of this area in your body, you're going to slowly die. Everything's going to feel grotty. You're going to have problems with your guts and your digestion. You're going to have dampness creeping in. You need to open the windows. So much like this, it's like, okay, I can stay in a dark space for a while to feel safe. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to open the windows, let some light in and go, oh, thank God. So it's much the same. Bring your consciousness into your belly and your emotions. Bring your breath, allow the breath to move in, and bring life to those feelings and allow them to move again. That's really, really important. You don't want to stagnate and die. That feels horrible, slow and painful. And of course, that's a very difficult place to live in. So you're going to move out. So move back in. Allow yourself to go back in. And just think about that relationship that you have as a little child with your father. As a little child growing in the womb with God and your spirit. Do you feel abandoned from spirit? Do you feel like broken, like God abandoned you and left you here? Or something like that, see how it feels for you. Maybe that's just too way out and you just can't even go there. But just see if you can be really real and honest. Bring your heart, bring your love, bring your responsibility, your power, your divine masculine sunshine, golden warm power into your belly, and hold yourself. Allow yourself to feel. Listen to your little baby you, listen to your little child, and find out what you need so that you can thrive, so that you can just come back to life in every part of you, reclaim every part of you and come back to life. So again, when we do this in the workshops, it's profound, it's powerful, you're not alone, we're in a group of other people, you're led, you're held, you're safe, and I can share with you all manner of techniques and more information about that to dive deeper into these oceans of you and be allowed to feel and be real and clear all the gunk that might be sitting in your waters that you've left and had abandoned for a really long time. So the Birthing into the Light Body course is very good for that. It's a workshop, it's a weekend one. It's brilliant for that. And also just obviously coming and having your one-to-one soul reading, and I can give you that one-on-one attention and look directly into your womb memories. And I see that so often, every time actually, seeing somebody's womb experience and how they felt, or their childhood experience and where they got stuck and where they feel like they've been left behind and abandoned. And it's very simple actually to deal with that. It's very simple. It just takes the courage of you to show up and be willing to show up and have that support and have that protection and have that space that's just for you. So I invite you to come if you want support with that. I'm totally here for you. And I'm like a midwife, I'm like a mother that can hold you in that space, and we can go to those places and you're not alone. So, I know there's a full moon coming up in Aquarius, and there's a lot of all this, it's being revealed. We are being revealed. All the crap is coming away, and the authentic self, that authentic child, must be heard and seen. So the timing of this video is really rather beautiful, and I didn't plan it. It's just synchronistic. It's just how it works. It's magic. So have a beautiful day of feeling and being with you. Don't abandon you. Get all hands on deck. Attend to your child, and just listen for what you need. And I love you so much, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. We're going to talk about the sacral center tomorrow. Actually, that might even be my favourite place to talk about, and I'm excited about sharing that with you. So I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.